What's up guys, it's the RHayman65 here, and in today's video I want to talk about smartwatches and do we really need them and what is the future of the smartwatch and stuff like that. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about smartwatches. And what is a smartwatch? A smartwatch is basically a way that you can tell time and pretty much get your notifications through, and that's a smartwatch. Pebble was the first people to come out with a big smartwatch, and it was obviously called the Pebble smartwatch. What the Pebble smartwatch did is it delivered your time. You could set custom watch faces on it, and you could also receive your text, calls, and all these other notifications from it. Next up came Samsung Galaxy Gear, and basically what this did is it took the same thing from Pebble but had a colored screen versus the e-paper display of the Pebble, and you could text people back and call them and stuff right from your watch. So basically a lot of other companies followed suit. Android released their whole new system called Android Wear, the Moto 360, which is obviously one of the best looking smartwatches that we've seen. And then now you've got the Apple Watch that's coming out next month. So basically what I want to do here is I want to give my full opinion on smartwatches because I've not really been able to do that. Is this really the next big tech item and whatnot? What I mean by that is as the years have gone, we've seen tech come and go. And what I mean by that is let's go back to the first phones, like the first cell phones. There was no such thing as a smartphone then, and there was no such thing as, oh, you can get on Facebook with apps and stuff like that. Well, Apple changed that and came out with the Apple iPhone. And basically, I was not old enough to really, say if people liked it or not, but I'm pretty sure that people were not okay with it when it first came out. And basically, I think that that whole system has changed because I look around and I almost see nobody without a smartphone unless obviously your parents are not going to let you get a phone yet, but normally everybody's phones are smartphones. Here with me I've got my iPhone 6 Plus, and my first smartphone was 2 years ago, and that was the Samsung Galaxy Fascinate. So smartphones have really taken over the market lately, ever since Apple came out with the Apple iPhone, and yeah. So the next big thing was basically a tablet, and Apple was the first people to come out with a tablet as well with the Apple iPad. And basically people thought with that, is there really a need for a tablet? It's basically my iPhone just blown up on a bigger scale screen. And people debated about it. Why do I need it? Why is this something good and whatnot? So basically that's what started the whole tablet industry, and people started using these tablets and realizing, wow, this can actually affect my daily life and how I use stuff as like Facebook, Twitter, get on the internet to do some research and stuff like that. And it actually got rid of the use of some people's computers. They actually went away from the computers and just started using the tablets. So that was something else that Apple was one of the first people to do, but it also grew over time. Samsung made theirs. We all know about Microsoft's Surface, which is, I think, arguably one of the best tablets that we've seen. And basically why I wanted to go into that backstory is people are talking about smartwatches. We've seen a lot of smartwatches already. Obviously, we've not been able to get our hands on the Apple iWatch or the Apple Watch or whatever it's called. I think they should have called it the iWatch, but it's the Apple Watch. Who cares? But basically, do we really need it? And people are thinking, wow, this is such a waste of money and such a waste of time when you could pull out your phone, see all of your notifications, and the time right on your phone. Here is where I think thinking is going into. This idea struck me when I was reading comments about how people were bashing the Apple Watch, and I don't blame them, because the Apple Watch is not all what everybody has hoped for, but at the same time, how can you bash a smartwatch if you've never actually had it? And this could be another one of those products like I was talking about, like with the smartphones and the tablets and stuff like that, where people just say, what is the need for them right now? Why do I need this? How is this going to make my life better with it than without it? And I think that this is something that you can't really rule out until you try. I mean, honestly, I think that, you know, smartwatches could have a big effect, but I'm not 100% sold on the whole smartwatch market in general yet. I think that they've got some thinking to do behind them. I think that they've got to get a lot better. I think that, you know, as time goes, we'll see better ones. People were complaining about the first generation Apple Watch, for example. Well, okay, then don't buy the first generation Apple Watch, because normally Apple does better at their second generation products. Just look at what they did to the iPod Shuffle 1 and then the iPod Shuffle 2. Look at what they did from the iPhone to the second generation iPhone. Look what they did from the iPad to the iPad 2. I mean, Apple is just better at second generation products. Even the Apple TV, for example, because the first Apple TV was pretty big, then they made it into the small black box that it is today. So basically, what I'm saying is Apple's normally better the second time around. And I'm not just pointing this video towards Apple, I'm pointing this video towards a lot of companies. A lot of companies don't really know where the smartwatch industry is going. This is just the first time, except for if you're Samsung. Samsung has now released 2 smartwatches. Actually, they've released a lot more than that, but this was their second time around for the second year, and this will be the third time this year that they're going to go into the smartwatch company. But what I'm saying by this is we're not going to see the best of smartwatches yet. And, you know, that might sound like a no-brainer, and smartwatches might not be where companies thought they were going to be, but that's also because they got to sell the product. And what I mean by that is basically they had to sell the idea of a smartphone or a tablet or a music player and stuff like that because nobody wanted one at the time. And then when they finally got one and started using it, they stopped bashing it, and then they're like, man, this is such a great idea. And it's almost like the same thing with these phones that are becoming big, like the iPhone 6 Plus, like the Galaxy Note, is why do I need a phone that big when I've got a tablet or something like that? And then you actually get your hands on it and you get used to it. So can this be something that smartwatches do? Yeah, I think that the smartwatches might be able to, you know, convey people to like them. I'm still not going to give my full 100% thought on smartwatches. I'm not 100% sold on them. I will tell you that now. But who knows? Maybe in the future, I will change that idea. But as far as smartwatches go right now, I don't think that we know enough about them until you actually get your hands on one yourself about if a smartwatch is a good idea for you. And that's basically something with the smartwatches. It's what's good for you. And basically all tech in general, what's good for you. Do you like Apple? Do you like Samsung? Stuff like that. It's basically the same thing. Do you like tablets? Do you not like tablets? You know, do you want a smartwatch that you can see stuff on your wrist, respond to it and stuff like that? Or do you not and you just want a normal watch or not anything at all? But basically I think that I could go on and on forever with this video, but yeah, that's where I stand right now on smartwatches. They've not sold on me yet, but that's because I'm not going to give my full opinion on them until I've tried one for myself, and hopefully that is here soon. Alright guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button down below, subscribe to see new videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.